There's a planned return to the office next week for workers in Sydney CBD. Has the state government policy on this changed due to the outbreaks, or is the plan that people can still go back to work on Monday?
Well, at this stage, on the advice from health, again, it is business as usual. So this morning we do have our emergency committee meeting that we meet once a week in relation to dealing with what's ahead of us. I'll be chairing that with the absence of the Premier. And we'll be discussing all of this, plus other issues that arise each week. And as I've said, the same for the cricket test. We'll always prepare to be flexible on the advice from health to make changes. But at this stage, everything is as we've previously announced.
Speaking of the cricket test, it's tomorrow. Are you nervous?
I think I'm nervous about the result for Australia more so than what's occurring at the stadium. Look, I snuck out there yesterday, had an opportunity to walk the SCG with the management and go through their protocols, and I'm confident that everything's in place to make it as risk-free as possible, but there's always risk.
There are calls for all states and territories to test flight crews to help bolster our hotel quarantine systems. Should it be made mandatory, do you think?
Well, that's a good question. A lot of airlines do a lot of that themselves. Sorry, I've just said
no, that's all right. As long as you're okay, Minister. I mean, for it to be made mandatory, you're most welcome to take some water while we discuss it. Obviously, particularly in regards to that UK strain that has popped up in a number of hotel quarantine around the country, that's obviously cause for concern. But flight crews are an issue. Should they be tested upon arrival?
Well, again, we've got protocols and measures in place. And how we actually manage that, what we do is work with the airlines. They've got their COVIDSafe plan. And then we as a government and our agency, our health experts, we work through all of that. And we're confident in what has been in place to this point. But the reality here is that things change on a daily basis. And as I said earlier, we do have our committee meeting shortly, and we're able to discuss a number of other arrangements.
All right. And just finally, now you've called for international arrivals to be put on a domestic flight to get to their home states. The WA Premier has labelled your comments as selfish. What's your response to this?
Well, my comment was all about actually each state doing more of the heavy lifting. New South Wales, at 120,000 international passengers, have done the heavy lifting when 50% of those passengers end up in another state. And these premiers and other states are quick to lecture New South Wales about improving our system. So my comment was off the back of, hang on, if you're going to lecture us, why don't you do more of the heavy lifting? Because at the moment we're carrying the burden and the risk, and we're actually being able to do that on behalf of Australia. We are all Australians. We are all in this together. But at the same time, other states need to do more.
All right, John Barilaro, I'll let you go to have a glass of water, and I certainly hope you're okay.
I am. Thank you very much. Talk soon.
Thank you.